What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 47th episode of the PS Pony podcast, where once a week, every week, me and my best friend Ron get together to bring you all of the Sony news you need to know about. Guys, we were just coming off of a nice little holiday we had. Me and Ron just celebrated Christmas, and then we have New Year's coming up at the end of this week. Yeah, man, Ron, how have you been doing? How was your Christmas?
Christmas was fantastic. Little bit of family heart attacks as it happens, but yeah, it was really good. It just didn't feel like Christmas this year. It really didn't. Like, it was like 55, 60 degrees with rain coming down. I don't know. It kind of just felt like another day, which sucked. This one, you just kind of got gifts, which I don't know. Moving on now as a 23-year-old man, the gifts just don't really, obviously aren't going to hit the same as you were when you were a kid, and that's expected. But next year, Miles is going to be born, and I am spoiling that kid to death next year. I'm going to try to buy him I'm obviously probably not next year, but like the year after, probably buying him a swing set for the backyard. Jesus. Nice wooden one. Caitlin and I were talking about getting him one. I don't want to get a metal because it'll rust, knowing Pittsburgh and with the rain and snow.
I don't know. I feel like they make metal ones pretty well now, like maybe, with like coatings and things.
Potentially, but I mean, the wooden one's gonna last you longer.
Yeah, you might even be able to find like some type of composite wood or something like that too.
Maybe, yeah. But I'm spoiling this kid, and I'm so excited. He'll be born in late February, early March, and it's gonna be a blast. I'm so excited. That's kind of what got me through this, what I call the buffer Christmas, was that next year there's going to be a baby sitting with me at the kids table, and I'm just going to mess with them the whole time, and I'm so excited. But yeah, my holiday was pretty good. I sound tired because I went back to the gym I went yesterday, but I went today, and I haven't gone really since San Diego, and then the holidays, I just didn't feel like it, and I think I died today. It was great. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll try to wake up a bit, even though it's 2 p.m. But yeah, Zach, how have you been? How was Christmas?
Been good, man. Christmas was a lot of fun, a lot of driving around, bouncing from one place to the other. Yeah, we headed over to my grandmother's. Elise was there, and then we went over and hung out with her family at her parents' house. Great time. Woke up with my family, called the police, had to call 911 at 6 o'clock in the morning on Christmas. I woke up in the middle. Jacob was in my room and he just started barking at me specifically, at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, what the heck? What are you doing? I started petting him. He stopped. I was like, okay, laid back down. He started barking at my brother. I was like, dude, what's going on? And
he's trying to get your attention.
Well, so I was sitting there and I started hearing other dogs outside barking. And I was like, what the hell is this going? Is this they sense the danger before we do situation or whatever? But so I went to my parents' room. I woke them up, started talking to them. They listened to these dogs. And at first I thought it was a bunch of dogs barking, all the dogs. It was just two specific dogs. That's it, just two. So we assumed that they were left outside or something. I have no idea. But I was I just tried to go back to sleep, and as I was trying to do that, it shifted from just normal barking to yelping and crying. Aww. And I was like, what the heck's going on? So we assume that it's these people that we interacted with last year. Last year, my sister, in our backyard, we have these woods. It's down a hill, and then there's an apartment complex down there. In our neighbor's yard, my sister found two dogs, and one was tangled in a bush with its leash. The other one was sitting with it. The other one ran away whenever my sister and her boyfriend came up to it. They ended up getting the dog, bringing it over to our house. They wrapped a blanket around it because it was 20 degrees that day or something.
Yeah.
They ended up finding who owned it, and it was in that apartment complex. And my dad went to give them the dog back, and just a cloud of drugs just wafted out of the apartment. It was a young couple, and they were like, oh yeah, they usually run away, but they always come back. It's oh, that's cool.
Right, because someone brings them back.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude. If that dog was stuck, it was 20 degrees. If if it was stuck and like nobody noticed it or realized it was out there, it would have died. It 1,000% would have died.
100%.
So we think it's those dogs. We think it's them. So I called the police and I was like, hey, like, you know, I've been hearing these dogs bark. It sounds like they're in distress. You know, whatever. Just told them where I was. They're like, all right, we'll send someone out. I don't think they sent anyone out. Because the dogs kept barking until like 7:30. So, but yeah. So that was a fun morning, start of the Christmas season.
Right. That sucks.
Yeah, other than that, man, Christmas was great. Got a few video games. You know,
What'd you get?
Dude, I got Guardians of the Galaxy. So I actually hopped in the first mission of that, and I'm really enjoying it. It feels a lot like the energy of like the movie. You know, it feels almost like this is just like a offshoot adventure of everything. So that's a lot of fun. I'm excited to hop back into that today. Of course, got Pokemon Diamond. So I'm playing that. Brilliant Diamond, yes. Got that. Got the new Super Mario Party, whatever. Played that last night. It's actually really cool. It feels a lot more classic. They added a bunch of games from all the various things and everything.
It's like the best of kind of game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Got that. Finally got Mario Golf. So
About time.
Yeah, about damn time. And I got Demon Souls as well. I want to say and Nerf Legends. I'm excited to hop into that.
And what?
Nerf Legends.
Oh, Nerf Legends.
Yeah. That's for the PS5, so I'm excited to hop into that, see what that's about. But yeah. So other than that, yeah, that's just
throwback to the Nerf game on the Wii.
It was a good game.
I loved that game.
Came with real Nerf guns and everything. It was awesome.
Dock your Wii remote in it. Just shoot. Oh, it was amazing.
Man. I'm in.
Nerf and Strike.
I'll tell you what, I would love that for like the PSVR. It'd be a great game to hop into.
Hey, maybe it could happen, you know? Nerf sells enough.
Dude, if this game pops up, like I said, Ron, I sent you that trailer for it.
No, I mean, I watched it. I saw it. I saw it like right before you sent me the trailer, and I was like,
yeah, dude, awesome. I was blown away by it. I don't know what I was expecting. That wasn't what I was expecting. It looked like a lot like Borderlands. You know, that same type of like play style and everything. So
I still want the Super Monkey Ball game. Been thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it was on sale.
Probably. Yeah. There's a giant sale going on right now.
Yeah, I think I saw that was on sale. It's like the end of the year sale or whatever.
Yeah. But you know what game I think is on sale right now?
What's up?
Hades.
Yeah.
And it made history recently as the first video game to win a Hugo Award.
What are the Hugo Awards, Ryan?
Zach, the Hugo Awards were oblivious to me until about a week ago. But the Hugo Awards, they were first presented in 1953, and they honor the best works in science fiction and fantasy. And just very recently, they had a video game nomination for it, and Hades won, which well deserved. If this is like the theme of the awards, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you know, someone who loves Greek mythology and like really a lot of mythologies, the way they build this story, incorporating so accurately that mythology in actual events that take place throughout it, it's really, really awesome. Especially with this character Zagreus, who is in mythology, but he's like kind of this like vague character in the mythology, where like some people see him as like some stories he's like Zeus's son, other stories he's Hades' son, other stories he's just his own thing, but like they're not like full like stories. It's just like, oh, he did this thing, so the way they do this and the way they kind of set everything up is really, really amazing. One of my favorite games I've played, for sure, and
we'll definitely be talking about that.
Yeah, for sure. But well deserved. Just like, especially with the art style and the music and the way they just bring everything all together. It really does a great job of being a roguelike, but always giving you something at the end when you die, whether you make it all the way or whether you die on your first room. There's usually always something in the like hub area for you to a dialogue for you to advance or stories for you to do, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, I never finished the game, but it was always one of those games I really respected just because of the art style. I love that kind of the that art style, mainly because kind of like Borderlands. Also,
Yeah.
I've always kind of liked
Like
that
the cell shading.
Yeah. But this was the first time the video games were ever recognized in this category. So other games like Last of Us 2 and I think Final Fantasy, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and there was another one, were all kind of looked at as a contender. So
Animal Crossing, really?
Mm-hmm. Listen, man, we loved the game at one point, all right? And
dude,
then it's just,
but
all right,
like...
listen, the game would have been better if it wasn't Nintendo's BS. If this game was, like, made by Xbox or PlayStation,
No, you're 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. But, like, it is made by Nintendo.
That's just the problem, man. The server issues were so annoying.
Oh, man.
Not even really issues, just more of, like, nuisances. I shouldn't have to disconnect from online services to play LAN, and then I shouldn't have to connect to go to your island. Am I connected or not? Dude, it doesn't make sense, man.
It sucks
I don't
that I
get
can't
it.
plant
Just
a fucking tree while you're hanging out on my island.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just because of like trapping people and stuff, but
Yeah.
then it doesn't make sense.
Well, then,
because you
no.
can call up the rescue services and then have you pull you out. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Is that
just-
why they said that?
That's the theory in my head. That and griefing. But you can't have randoms join. You can only have your friends join. So if they're messing with you, then kick them out.
Yeah.
And then you have the services come in. They'll revert how it was prior to them coming.
Oh, is that it?
I believe that's how it works.
Then yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly perfect. Like at the end, like whenever everybody leaves your island, if it's like keep island how it is, or like revert to previous.
Here's the thing, Zach, about Animal Crossing. It's a lot like Call of Duty, the state it's in. If it makes sense, it's not in the game.
It's not in the game.
If it's made by Nintendo, it's not in the game.
It's not in
The servers are just
freaking
terrible.
game.
We already knew the servers are bad from Smash Online.
Yeah.
But my God, it was just it's such a nuisance. But I got the OLED model because I'm a simp to Mario games. So
You know what? I actually
Pokemon.
I looked up. I went back on Target. I found another one.
Really?
Yeah.
They must just start
Yeah.
to be more available then.
They must have. I was actually, because I was thinking for a while, because Elise she likes playing games. I was thinking about buying the OLED and then giving her my Switch. But then like the more I thought about it, the more I actually added it to my cart to like look to see like how, and it's like almost $400, and like that's when it clicked in my head. I was like, I'm not spending $400 close to for Nintendo Switch. It's not happening. Especially for the same price, I can get a discless PS5.
Right.
Like, no.
If you could find one.
If I can find one, yeah, that's the key. But
Asher wants a PS5. And then we were talking about it at Christmas, and then Megan was like, when the hell are you going to have time to play this? We have a child coming in a few months. I offered him my PS4 so he can play the Spider-Man games and everything, and that's just pending. But
dude, my brother got the Spider-Man for PS4, which I'm hyped about. Because I don't think he wants Miles Morales, and you can't buy the remastered or you can't buy the PS5 version without buying the Ultimate Edition for Miles Morales, which is stupid. It's dumb.
That is really dumb.
It is dumb. But at the same time, I think it's like $70, so you get Miles Morales and Spider-Man.
Because you can buy Miles separately, but you can't buy the new Spider-Man separate.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
It's really dumb.
Yeah. So he has it on a PS4. Big thing for me is I can't transport my save from PS4 over because I don't have Spider-Man anymore. Now that I have a PS4 disc, pop that in, download it, transfer my save, give it back to my brother, download the PS5 version, pop it over, and we got all the trophies. It's lit. Yeah.
I see your game plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually thinking about replaying it because Spider-Man's kind of got me in the mood again. But
I did see you download like the game recently.
Yeah, I did, and I loaded it up. I started it up. I keep forgetting that they changed the face model for Spider-Man. I love it a lot more than the original face model. But yeah,
it sucks for that guy.
Does suck for that guy.
Axed, right?
It really does. Yeah. I remember. It's like he just sits there. He's like, oh, "I'm Spider-Man. I get to be Spider-Man." A year later, well, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Yeah. But, Zach, a little bit of other news also from Push Square. Sony partner Deviation Games is to enter full production on a PS5 game coming in 2022. Deviation Games is run by former Treyarch chief Jason Blundell. Shout out to him for the good old days of COD, back when it wasn't as annoying. But that might mean we're getting potentially like a first-person shooter Sony game. coming at some point.
I feel like it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Killzone 7 or something, whatever.
Killzone 5 it would be, because Shadowfall didn't have a number.
No, no. I mean, Killzone's dead, but
right.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool if we got a first-person shooter. Not something to necessarily even compete with Halo, but I mean, it will because
that's just the way it's gonna be marketed. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Go on Twitter, you'll find out real quick.
But I'd love to see something like that. I think it'd be really, really cool. And I think it's also like an online game and a shooter is really like kind of what's missing from Sony's belt right now. Because we already have like a Souls-like with Bloodborne, and I guess now Demon's Souls too. We have obviously the action adventure things. We really don't have like an RPG, like a real RPG.
Persona.
It's a JRPG though.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean like a classic like Fallout type, Skyrim type RPG, something like that. Because you're not playing, because like I mean like RPG where you are the character. It's not
right. I know.
It's not like you're playing as like Joker or what's Ren. That's supposed to be his name or something.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we do.
No.
Then we have like the fun kid games like Sackboy and Ratchet. I think Bugsnax, dude. Yeah. The Pokemon like. I think, yeah. So I think a shooter and like an RPG are really what they're missing, and I would love to see both of those come out of it.
Yeah,
so.
PlayStation's always kind of missed the shooter.
Yeah.
But one important note, though, was that Jason Blundell's added that he wants the team's debut title, which would be this game, to be instantly recognizable from screenshots. So, like, when you see a screenshot of anything from Halo, you're like, okay, that's Halo. Like, you see a grunt, okay, Halo. You see anything like Call of Duty, you know, because the art style and how it looks, that's COD. Battlefield, you know that. So they want it to be separate. Someone takes a screenshot Splitgate without the portal in it, and you're like, okay, it looks like a Halo clone. It doesn't even look like Halo, it looks like a clone. And I mean, that's basically what Splitgate is, just Portal and Halo.
That's huge. That's a big thing.
So I'm hoping it's just something unique then, and not just a war shooter. I'm tired of war shooters.
Yeah.
Like COD's only fun because of Warzone, IMO.
I mean, I think it's Call of Duty is just very stagnant over these past couple of years.
And
like
then Battlefield is just a consistent train wreck off launch, and then it'll come out, then you can actually play it 5 months later. That's great. And then Halo is just Halo. Halo is just the solid front runner game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice that Sony's gonna take a chance on them and see what they can kind of come up with. I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
But Zach, we didn't really have much news this week. I mean, it is a holiday. That's kind of what's expected. You and I kind of planned for this, so we wanted to have like kind of a normal podcast kind of conversation on like our best game.
Your wrap up,
best game of 2021. Then we could talk about like the favorite games we played.
Yeah.
Let's start with our favorite games we played, and then we'll hit them with our best of 2021. Right. This doesn't mean necessarily games that came out in 2021. It's just the best game we played. Unless you want to do it that way. I can have a best of 2021 and then my favorite game I played. How do you want to do it?
I think there's only like 1 or 2 games on here that didn't actually come out. Okay. I say, or let's count like the PS5 launch.
Okay.
Like so, like when like November-ish on. I think that makes sense. So I think there's only 1 or 2 games that really doesn't fall within that time frame. Okay. So
hit me with it.
Yeah. So you want my best one?
I want your best PS5 game.
Best PS5? Because I have 3 categories. I got PS5 exclusives, I have PS4 exclusives, and then like they have a version for each.
Hit me with your favorite games of PS5, and then we'll go from there. Hit me with your favorite PS5 games.
I mean, my favorite PS5 game is Ratchet.
Yeah.
Like that I played.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, without a question. It just what isn't there to say about Ratchet? I love the seamlessness, the way you just move through area to area. The feeling of the DualSense and audio design in that game is amazing. Specifically, like the club scene.
The thing about Sony exclusives, for the most part, when they're action adventure games, is that there's always a point very early in the game where it's the gripping point.
Yeah.
And that's the gripping point, is that club scene.
Yeah,
because that was like kind of fucking crazy. My watch vibrated with the haptics. Like that should not have happened. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, dude. So that on top of just like the fun, the how fun combat is, like the how everything looks with explosions and the uniqueness of the guns. It did such a good job of feeling like a classic Ratchet and Clank game, but also feeling like a brand new experience. And just it's a great story, dude. It's just a really fun, nice little story. At no point like there's no point in that game when I was playing I was ever like, whew, all right, well, okay. I just kind of want to beat this so that way I can move on to the next thing. Full time. I was actually one of the few games that like when I beat it, I was like, damn. I wish I didn't.
Right.
I wish there was more.
I was like that with my game of the year, which I'll talk about a little bit too. My PS5 game of the year, Returnal. Over Ratchet.
Okay. All right, tell me why.
I liked Returnal because it was the first challenging game I played in a bit. Coming off of Persona was challenging in the sense of just like turn-based strategy, kind of. But it's like the Pokemon style strategy. Nothing really like too hard, to be honest. Persona's a simple game. You just kind of need to spend your time wisely. Right. If you blow through it and you don't pay attention to stuff, then it's really hard. But if you pay attention to the world before you go into like fight shadows and everything, then it's easy. Okay. It's just more about how you strategize yourself and use your time, and I think I use the time pretty damn well. But Returnal was so much fun. I beat it in less than 7 tries or whatever, I loved that. It was just so much fun. I had more fun with that game than I did with Ratchet. Ratchet was really, really good. It was kind of a close pick between the two of those. Yeah. And the reason Miles Morales for me wasn't a part of it is because it's not a PS5 only game. But I don't know. Returnal got IMO got robbed of Sound Design Award at the Game Awards. It should have won it.
Miles was originally a PS5 game, then they...
Right.
Yeah. So that's rather than making it for PS5, upscaling it, it was PS5. Then they downscaled it whenever it became hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I just mean it didn't only come out on there.
Gotcha.
And they did that just because they couldn't sell enough consoles because there wasn't enough supply.
Right, exactly.
Every Sony exec was like, no, make the fucking game sell. Swear to God. Horizon, make it sell. God of War, make it sell. I don't give a shit. The next game you make, fine. Only exclusive because more people will have it by then. Yeah. But Returnal got robbed of sound design. That was the best sounding game I've ever played.
It was great. It was great.
The best ever. And the haptics are done really, really well.
It was Forza 1, right?
Forza 1. Which I guess, whatever.
Hard argument to make.
It is. I don't play racing games. So it's not even my fanboyism. It's just the blacked out. I just don't play racing games. So whatever. But it got robbed. But... just being able to feel the DualSense and know like when I can use my abilities again, not having to look for another thing on the screen to indicate when I can shoot again. So if it's like my alternate fire in past games, you would have like a light vibration in your rumbles or whatever, and but in this game you have to look at so much at once. Yeah. So being able to have great audio cues and then have the DualSense shake in such a way that you know that's specific to your alt fire coming back was really well done. Yeah. And it was so seamless. You die, boom, right back. Cuts like the quick. Yeah. You just die, and then it's her falling back down to the planet. Restart the whole thing over again. The music was done extremely well. I was sad when I finished Returnal. I would have played more to get the plat, but it was like those sunstone things where it was. I looked up guides on it, and that was the thing I didn't like. It was done in a really weird way. I think they fixed it and made it better now to collect it, but it was just that was the only reason I didn't go back for the plat was that.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out all the logs too.
And I can do the logs. That takes a while, but
that's the part that like turns me off of it. Is like that could take you 5 hours or it could take you 50, just depending on what RNG stuff happens. And
right.
So,
but I was consistently what should I say? Like, the combat was just extremely consistent. And the thing I didn't like too much about Ratchet and Clank, which is why Returnal won, was the enemy types they might look different, but they all played the same. It's just shoot until you run out of ammo, then swap to your 15th other gun. Whereas Returnal, every area you went in, there was a different kind of boss. It wasn't always the same, and their attacks were all different.
Yeah.
There wasn't a boss that looked different that had the same fire types. Everything was different. So if you had like 5 megas coming after you, then it was a pain in the ass, and you had to it was just a war of attrition.
Yeah.
And that's all it was.
Right.
But it was a phenomenal game. My game of the year, personally. And I also loved Resogun, just for the bullet hell type of game. So that's my game. My game of the year for PS5, specifically.
For PS5, specifically.
But Zach, there is a game I liked more than Returnal. That was a PS4 game that I played this year.
Exclusively PS4?
Exclusively PS4.
Ooh, I think I know
Technically not exclusively PS4, because it was on the PS3. Persona 5.
Oh, Royale?
Well, I didn't finish Royale.
Oh, okay, fair.
So, that's my reasoning. Persona 5 Royale is PS4 only, but Persona 5 is PS3 and PS4.
Gotcha. Disclaimer, it also did not come out this year.
Royale came out 2020, yeah. And then, yeah. But I'm just kind of morphing it for that reason. But so far, I'm loving Royale. The differences were done really well. It's not like it's obvious when it happens because I finished the standard Persona 5, but whenever it happens, it doesn't feel like cheesy or like kind of thrown in for randomness. But Persona 5 is it's I feel like once I beat Royale, it might end up beating Witcher in my number 1 slot of the game. Hello, Luna. But yeah, it was a hard choice between Persona 5 and Witcher 3 whenever I beat it for the first time on if Persona 5 would be my number 1 ever. But I kind of had to give the leg up on Witcher because of replayability.
Right.
But I think there would be more replayability in Royale.
I think there is. Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. I can always go back to Witcher. The only reason I'm not right now is I'm waiting for the next gen version. So, yeah. But I've talked about Persona 5 so much on the podcast because it took me like 3 months to beat it. So I don't have to beat the dead horse on that. Go back and listen to our other stuff. But Zach, your PS4 game of the year. My
PS4 game is like yours, Ron. It's a little weird, but Outer Wilds.
I knew it was gonna be Outer Wilds. The DLC coming out.
Like the DLC, sure. Like if we just want to say the DLC, then the DLC. But it's so highly like entwined in the main story that like it's just such a good game. Like this is my number 1 favorite game I've ever played. And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful game, great time. It's highly explorative, and if you can get past the fact that you don't have any quest markers and all that, it's all on you. It's a lot of like big brain gamer knowledge, if that makes sense. Like the like just like how like we've been playing games for so long, we know when we can climb walls and when we can't just by like looking at the wall. There's always like that paint mark or like something there. Or, the way they use the level design in this game, like they really put like a lot of detail in areas that have things to discover and almost no detail at all in areas that don't. But that it doesn't feel like that's necessarily the guide for you, and it doesn't. And like when I say no detail, I don't mean like I just mean like clutter. There's not like it's not very cluttered. Like there'll be a few trees around the planet and stuff. But like you'll know where there's stuff to explore and discover, but it doesn't do that in a way like that it feels like it's holding your hand or like it's like, you know, putting a big arrow there. Right. Really, really great game. I love it. Also, the game operates completely like because these planets, everything happens at certain times on these planets. It has to run completely. Like even if you're on one planet, stuff still has to happen on the other planets. So just the fact that it's able to run like that and operate is crazy. When I was watching a documentary, the developers said that so you have your spaceship. So when your spaceship's somewhere, like usually they would like render everything less on other planets if you're far away because it just makes things easier to run. But if your spaceship is near it, it can't. It has to have everything fully rendered. If you're near it, obviously it has to have everything fully rendered. And then if your scout that you could shoot out and like look around and take pictures with stuff, if that's near it, if that's somewhere, it always has to keep that fully rendered, and it has to make sure that any time events and stuff happen near it. So like if you're looking at your thing, everything works. Apparently it's very, very hard on the game to have your ship somewhere, you somewhere, and your scout somewhere. And they said that they wanted to put a trophy into the game for breaking the game, because they said your game will crash if you do this. Like, and Apora came back to them, and they were like, you cannot put a trophy in the game designed to break the game and potentially brick a console.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I love the trophy they have, though, of basically killing the universe with the black hole. There was like I think it was a trophy.
Oh, breaking a space-time.
Breaking space-time continuum. Yeah, I love that trophy. I watched it. I was like, wait, what? Because it was just recommended to me, and I was looking through the trophies when I started to play it. I was like, break the space-time continuum, what? And then I looked at it, I'm like, that is so cool that they added it. Was like cutting off the black hole, and then like, so
there's technically 2 of everything.
Exactly. And that's just can't do it.
Such a cool game, man. Such a cool, especially like the actual science in the game, like the stuff they talk about, like it's all like scientific. It's all like, if you look it up, these are real things that exist, which is like so impressive to me too. So
I mean, I feel like if you're making a game about space where the space is the heavy focus of it, you can't just be lackluster on
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
But
and Zach, you had another category.
PS4 and PS5 games.
So what'd that be? What's that winner? And then we'll talk about all the lists.
So like all right, so like the winner.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And then we'll talk about everything together. I think that's fair.
My winner is probably Ghost of Tsushima, but like it's kind of a cheat because the PS5 version just came out. The actual winner, though, I guess if you would want to call it, is Hades.
Hades.
Yeah, okay. It's Hades. It's just.
I was gonna ask you where. I was gonna wait till the list were done. I was gonna ask you where Hades kind of fell in your favorite games.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of games that we can talk about, but these are just
Yeah. So. In terms of cross-gen games, for me, it's Kena.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It would be Kena or the director's cut for Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Because the director's cut's on both. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kena I liked a lot. It just kind of brought back that childhood collectathon kind of game that I love from Jak and Daxter so much.
Yeah, dude, I really wish I liked Kena more. Like, and it's not that I didn't. It's just that with like a lot of these games, like when I look at them, I'm like, oh, I would love to go replay that game, or I'd love to hop back into that game, and like Kena just isn't one of them. Mm-hmm. You know,
I can understand it. Yeah. And Hollow Knight, I kind of beat it like too late because I beat it at the end of 2020.
Yeah, I mean, it came out in 2018.
Yeah. But in terms of game I played this year.
Right. I got you.
But yeah,
I have mine on my PS4 list too. So.
Yeah. But Kena's like kind of my favorite cross-gen kind of game that I played this year. So I want to go through your list because you were typing a lot. I didn't really play too much this year that I like truly loved, to be honest. Nothing. It kind of sucks because nothing was really like too memorable for me, which kind of sucks. But you have a lot to yours, and I have a couple I can probably touch on and talk about. So. Talk about yours.
Yeah, so no specific order. I'm going to just go off the PS4 to start, but I have Slime Rancher.
PS4 only?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Slime Rancher. I'm not sure when it came out on the PS4, but I played this a lot. Mm-hmm. I played so much of this game this past year, and I loved it. It was just such a great game to like throw a podcast or audiobook on and listen to while I just walked around just ranching slime. So it was just really relaxing. Hollow Knight we already talked about. Outer Wilds we already talked about.
It's I think it's my number 3 or 4 best of all time.
Yeah, I have Warzone on here. Not necessarily from any technical place, but like I mean I love Warzone. It's fun, but also just like the time that like we've all had on it and all those clips and it's just a great game.
All the shipped clips.
Yeah. Then I have the Alto Collection. I have no idea when this came to PS4, but it was an iPhone game. You're skiing down a mountain, and like you just basically jump, and you can do like flips and stuff. And the soundtrack is so beautiful. The graphics are beautiful, and it's just really relaxing. It is just a really relaxing game that sometimes when I'm just like trying to chill, I'll like I'll throw a TV show on or listen to something. I'll just sit there and just ski down this mountain, and it's really awesome. And then this is going to be controversial, but I do have Cyberpunk 2077.
Why is that? I think the story is worth it. I didn't play it this year, so I don't really, I did play it into this year, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's.
I don't think it's that controversial, to be honest. I think people are kind of
coming around.
I think people get pissed about it, but then go and play Skyrim.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like
it was just overpromised. Skyrim was not overpromised.
Yeah, well,
that's
like
the biggest issue.
Well, that's the thing is I still stand by it. If like it didn't have the issues it had, I don't think anybody would be annoyed or mad at this game.
I think at worst it would just be an average game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would argue it'd be a really good game. But yeah, that's my main reason. Yeah, the stuff we had to deal with was really annoying, but since I was on the PS5, I didn't have to deal with much of it. And if aside from those like glitches and weird things that happen, everything else, I love the game. It was a lot of fun, and I love the story. So
yeah, the Cyberpunk was also,
I guess that's technically PS4. No, it is PS4. Never mind.
Yeah, it's only PS4.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is kind of on my list too of best games, mainly because I like the story a lot.
Yeah,
I think the story deserves more credit, and the music. The story and if a game has good music, then I'm gonna like the game more than even if the story's trash.
Right.
The music and everything was just so good. The story was really good too. The technical problems sucked. I mean, driving into China, it wasn't Chinatown, but it was like something.
Japantown.
Was it Japantown? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it. It sounded kind of stupid saying it though. Japantown crashing on me constantly really sucked. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna replay the game when the PS5 version fully comes out because I feel like it's gonna be way more fleshed out at that point.
I agree.
But I'm not in a hurry to play it. If Witcher drops before Cyberpunk, or if they dropped at the same time, I'm playing the Witcher remake over Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
hands down. Mainly because I'll have watched the Netflix season 2 by then. I'm sure I'll want to play it again. But yeah, did you have any more on your list?
Not for PS4.
For PS4, all right. So this is going to be kind of annoying to hear because we've played this game for many generations now. Is Skyrim. Platinuming that game was worth it. Was a lot of fun. Finally getting the plat on there. Yumi and Matt playing it. I think Greg kind of got back into it a little bit. Aaron didn't end up buying it.
He's never played Skyrim.
Yeah.
He's never played Skyrim.
I think he's better for it.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. With the way he plays games, I feel like he'd really enjoy it.
No, I'm sure he would. I just mean he'd just get trapped in it for so long.
Get him off Farming Simulator, you know what I mean?
He hasn't played Farming Sim in a while.
Yeah.
Or Kena in a while, but...
honestly, just generally not a bad game for him to get wrapped up in.
No.
You know?
He's a busy man now with life, though. He works nights. He goes to see his girlfriend constantly, like a lot. Another state. He has to cross the whole border, you know. Yeah. Busy man. But just platinuming Skyrim after 10 years was just nice to kind of throw the cherry on top for it. I was really sad Matt got kind of screwed out of the plat. He had 3 different quest lines that needed trophies break on him. Last thing he needed was to do all the trophies or all the quests for the you had to do like 7 quests for the Daedric quests. Yeah. Last thing he needed was the glitch, and there is a glitch, a known one that still is a bug. Last thing you need is for that to bug out on you because that would suck.
Right.
That's a lot of time to do all those. But other games I did play this year. I'm kind of doing like all my games, not really specifically PS4 games and stuff. Ratchet, we talked about. Love the game. Number 2 in terms of like best games this year, like from Eternal. Hollow Knight I played a little bit more this year, but I'm not gonna count it because it was mainly last year, to be honest, like last December.
Right.
Warzone, clip it and ship it has never been harder. Like the best time to just get bored and go through old clips. We did start playing Tiny Tina DLC, which is nice. It's definitely a hell of a throwback. I'm excited for when Yumi and Matt can keep playing it because you'll be in Deep Creek soon, but you'll be bringing your console. So I'm sure we'll have a time whenever Matt's not working or something. I'm off this whole week, so we could definitely hop back into that and wrap out a lot of the story on there. I'm excited to play that. I'm sad the platinum is kind of annoying, but whatever.
Right.
And yeah, I mean that's kind of it. It's kind of just been a mid-year, honestly. Like the games that came out were fun, but there was just so much Warzone we played that it was a lot. I mean, if you want to count Miles Morales, that was PS5 launch in last November. That was a really good game, but
I count it, absolutely.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. But I mean that's kind of it. 2022 is just so much coming out that I'm either gonna be buying all these games, or it's just gonna be another year like this where I just buy the ones where I know I'm gonna really like. Like I want Elden Ring. I don't know when I'll like play it. Like I'll if I buy it, it's gonna be way post launch, probably in that dry summer, because there's always a dry summer. Because Horizon's coming out right around then. Saifu's coming out before that.
Yeah.
I want those two games more than Elden Ring. But I know it's gonna be a Game of the Year nomination, so I want to at least play it. So I can be like, okay, this is gonna win over Ragnarok or something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of it for me. But I know you have some more games to talk
Yeah,
about.
so PS4, PS5 games. Obviously, I talked already about Hades and Ghost of Tsushima and Kenna. But Maneater, dude, I love that game.
I knew you were gonna bring up Maneater.
I love that game. It was it's just like dumb fun. Just being a shark, growing bigger, leveling up, taking on whales, eating stuff. There's a DLC for that game that I really want to get and hop into.
This is gonna sound so like annoying to hear, but I found it was more dumb than fun. That was kind of the thing. Like when it's a dumb fun game, there's like a balance you can hit. I just thought it was too dumb.
Here's the thing: it has an audience, though. It has an audience enough to make a DLC, and I believe they're making a second one too. So,
well, yeah, because it's not like Shark Simulator. Like this is like a game like built for something. You know?
Yeah.
If it was Shark Simulator or whatever, they can make those super quick, like Brain Surgeon or Surgeon Simulator and Farming Simulator and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, good for them if they make a sequel.
Yeah, dude. So I love that game. Also, huge game. Phoenix Immortals Rising. That game is one of my
Ubisoft's
absolute
Legend of Zelda
favorites, dude. That game is the best thing to come out of Ubisoft in years, and I stand by that. So cute, so fun. It's filled with mythology, like Greek mythology, and then the DLCs are amazing. All of them. I actually recently went through and I played them all. They even have like an Eastern gods, where like it's at the end of the day it's kind of the same game, same concept, but you see like Eastern gods from like China and stuff. So that was really cool. Great. I hope they make a sequel. Maybe it's not specifically for Phoenix, maybe it's something else, but like I really hope to see more out of this, because that was such a cool game. But are you done? You said them all?
No, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's been a slow year for me.
So for PS5, Astra's Playroom for friggin' sure. That game is the best demo for a controller I've ever played. That's its own game. I really want to see like a fully fledged Astro Bot Playroom game. That's not VR like Astro Bot Rescue Mission, but a full game, and I think it would be really awesome. If you have a PS5 and haven't played it, or if you're getting a PS5 or anything, or maybe you just skipped over it, please download it. Please use it. It is such a great introduction, just even to get used to the DualSense and see what it can do. Because not every game now really takes full advantage of everything that thing can do. So, yeah, definitely one of my favorite experiences I've had this year. Then we got Bug Snacks. It's a dumb game, but like, it was really fun. I loved it, like the little Pokemon type thing, going around and collecting the bugs and like figuring out how to like get different bugs and like get to them with like kind of that puzzle mechanic of like trying to put them out on fire or catch them on fire and all that stuff. And the story was really cool, creepy and weird, but it was really fun. Returnal, of course, we've talked a lot about Returnal. Sackboy, a great game. You know, if you want something cute, fun, and just like the way they used like the licensed music and stuff in that game is really cool too. If you need a cute little fun, you know, game and you miss Sackboy, it's a great time. Miles Morales, I have in there as well. my opinion, it's better than the Spider-Man game. It refines a lot of things, and I think it's just a much better story overall. But I'm really excited to see what else I guess Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac. Then I have a Plague Tale.
Plague Tale was really good.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about that game.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
It was just a really enjoyable game. A surprise, too. It's just a big surprise. It was free on PS Plus if you guys added it to your library. But speaking of PS Plus and free games, I also have Maquette. It's a short, I think...
Maquette was really good.
8-hour game, maybe?
If that. I don't think I spent 8 hours on
honestly, you could... I mean, I guess it really comes down to, like, how quickly you get through the puzzles, but... I mean, you could beat it in under an hour if you know what you're doing. But great puzzle game. Tells this really cute story of this couple that meets and then breaks up, and then like the aftermath of that through like all while doing these puzzles and these little scenes of like their relationship. It's really, really fun. That was also free on PS Plus.
Can I throw in 2 games real quick too? Because my PSN profiles page apparently was not updated. I thought it was. I was like, it didn't even say the Platinum and Skyrim. I was like, this is off. There's games missing. Yeah. 2 games real quick. Gang Beasts with the boys and Rachel and Elise also playing with us too. That's always fun. And then a sleeper that I loved, PGA 2K21.
Oh my god!
I loved playing golf for that little brief month that we did it. It was so much fun.
It's a good game.
It was a lot of fun. And then Hell Let Loose. Just kidding. That game sucked. I hated that. That was the worst PS Plus game of the year, IMO. But continue, Zach.
I just have one more.
Yeah.
And this is for the PS5, and it's The Pathless. That game was such a wonderful, wonderful game. The way it uses the DualSense, the way it just functions. It tells an amazing story of this island and these spirits that are supposed to protect the island that turn bad for a reason, and it's pretty heavily based on like discoverability of like you find there's like 4 areas and you find like pieces of the story around each area. The way you move and navigate through the world is really, really fun. You shoot these little target totem or talismans that like are floating all around the map, and every time you hit it you get like this huge speed boost. So it's just a great time. So it's like a bow, so the way it uses the DualSense triggers, and the art is really awesome. So I would say this is absolutely in my top 10, in my top 5 for games of this year is The Pathless. So
you know what game I kind of wish was good? Destruction All Stars.
I mean, I really can't say it's bad. I never
it.
hopped into a game.
I played it. It was trash.
Did you only play like a game or two?
Are you and I trying to play a game or two? Is that what you're saying?
I said, didn't you only play like a game or two?
I played like 5 to 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't like it. You know what? It kind of goes with your Man-Eater game of dumb fun.
What's up?
Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game.
That game was a lot of fun.
That's
such a meme game that just dropped on PlayStation.
I was looking at the platinum list for it. It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, not really.
There's like a lot of speed run trophies and like doing specific things that are like.
It's the same as knowing the route, but they give you enough time that anyone can do it.
Well, but there's also like just like RNG stuff where like you need to get people to do a certain thing or do it, and just like depending on how it shakes out, it might not work.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird ones.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to an early platinum I had this year of The Last of Us Part 2.
Great.
Early January. January 4th specifically. I'm just happy this list updated. I'm kind of disappointed. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really expand too much more on my list. They were kind of just shout outs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was a good year, but also kind of average because we ended up playing kind of the same games a lot, like Overwatch and COD.
Yeah.
Which is usually how it goes. It's always the kind of mid game, but games I'm looking forward to finishing New Year is just Persona 5 Royale and Tiny Tina's. Like games of finishing that I've started. Like, you know what I mean? Like games I'm expecting to bring over into the new year. Yeah. And then there's going to be more games coming out. I might end up playing the Vanguard campaign at some point next year.
It's a good campaign, man.
I haven't touched it. I kind of forget about it. It's not something I think about playing. You know? I think I have the campaign installed on my console. I think I have it installed on the sense of like I don't want to have the mood to play the campaign and then need to install the campaign.
I see.
And then be like, okay, well, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And then my day.
I think I have it. I just have everything installed for Vanguard. When do we get a new zombies map? Do we know?
I don't know, dude. Here's the thing. Activision is terrible for a lot of reasons. Naming the obvious, sexual assault.
Yeah.
But they've been treating Treyarch like shit the past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not expecting anything from their zombies. I don't blame Treyarch. I don't blame Treyarch for the faults of Cold War. I don't. Yeah. They lost a year because Sledgehammer was not making the game that Activision wanted.
Right.
It probably wasn't something that can make them enough money.
Yeah.
But hold on, I'm gonna throw this. Yeah, run away. Here, take the string. Oh, that's a tie. You shouldn't be playing with that. Red tie. But yeah, I mean, Activision bad for a lot of reasons, but they've been treating Treyarch like shit. I'm happy Jason Blundell isn't even there anymore. So I don't know when their zombies map is coming out. I didn't even really like the new one that much. It was pretty.
I liked it. I thought it was. I mean, it's a zombies map.
I think when it comes to zombies, it needs to be kind of turn-based. I don't like I don't like the stuff they try. I think it kind of falls flat a lot of the time. So that's just my opinion. Yeah. I'm just one guy on the internet. So, but yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about in terms of games.
Dude. Yeah, neither do I.
Exciting ones, at least. But
excited to hop into more Guardians of the Galaxy, some of these other games. So
yeah, you've been eyeing that game up for a while.
I have been. Yeah.
SkillUp's review is like, when it comes to games, I'm kind of iffy about. I go to SkillUp, and he liked the game a lot, which it's kind of been on my radar, but not enough for me to buy it because I have other games that I want to buy and other things I need to buy.
Right.
So,
yeah. Yeah, well, guys, thank you so much for coming in again and listening to us. We post every Tuesday, record every Monday-ish, depending. But yeah, Ron, if they want to reach out to us, talk to us, how can they do it?
You can reach out to us on our email to ask us questions, give us criticism, but criticism is meant for Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/PSPonies, but you can give us fan mail, love letters, what are they called? Fan fiction, even, on our email at AskPSPonies@gmail.com. That is AskPSPonies @gmail.com. That's it for me, Zach.
Hell yeah.
That's all you lovely, lovely listeners.
All right, guys. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday, and please have a very happy New Year. We will catch you guys.
Do not drink and drive.
Yeah, definitely that.
Don't.
We will catch you guys next week. We'll see you.
Bye.